Hey guys, Luke here and welcome back to Season 2, Episode 10 of my FIFA 16 Swansea City Career Mode. Now to start off this episode, we're taking a look at our youth squad. There's a few new additions I think, but as you can see we've got a fair few good prospects in terms of potential, but overall wise some of these are very poor, low 40s, low 50s, that sort of stuff, and it's really nice that they're probably going to be a good player in the future, but I'm not really sure how it works exactly in terms of say if they're 18 and rated in the 60s, will they still progress to that high rating? I'm not really sure. Leave in the comments below. But yeah, all these 40 odd ratings, I feel like they probably won't progress very well, and they won't reach their potential. So yeah, I could be wrong in that, but yeah, it is the end of the month, or start of the new month I should say, so that's why we're showing all this sort of stuff. You can see a lot of players with the +1s, +2s and that sort of stuff. Anderson's come to us, wanted game time, can't give him it, but he's progressing nicely. Gabriel as well has gone up by 1, a player we signed last year who I was hoping has high potential and that sort of stuff. Now, as I've said before, I'm not one to talk about I want to sign this player because he's got a potential of 88 or that sort of stuff. I really don't want to do that. So I just have to go out on a limb and hope for the best that the players like Correa and the players like like Gabriel and that sort of stuff do have a pretty high potential. I mean, some are pretty easy to tell, but I mean, like I said, you just gotta go hope for the best when you sign these players. Now we're taking on Crystal Palace, and Crystal Palace are a side I've got to be a little bit wary of. I'm quite aware that their wings are very pacey. In saying that though, we don't really have too much trouble against sides who just sit back and counter-attack and that sort of stuff. As you've seen, like Leicester and that sort of stuff. I think against us, we handled them with ease pretty much, and Sheffield Wednesday, we sort of broke them down pretty comfortably. But so far so good this game. See, Correa takes on a few players. He's got a lot of space. He's going to whip in across there, and Rafinha ends up having a header come straight off the bar, or straight off the post, I should say. And yeah, we're sort of very close to breaking the deadlock, but in saying that though, we are still playing a little bit stupid right here, and you see Valdez comes up with a pretty easy save. It was a poor shot, but nonetheless, we gave Crystal Palace a cheap chance right there, and we really don't want to do that. I was saying we don't worry too much about the counter-attack, but at the same time, we want to avoid those counter-attacks. I think that's why we haven't had too much trouble, just because simply put, we've just been avoiding it, coming up with those big tackles when it was needed to stop the counter-attack before it really starts. So yeah, while we are dominating games in terms of possession, that sort of stuff, yeah, we just got to try and avoid the counter attacks. And if we get a chance like us, we get a chance ourselves, like right now, we definitely got to hit the counter very hard. And we've got the players who can do it. And Icardi is through on goal here. Zaha was keeping up for him for a second there, and we're looking to sort of square it, or not square it, but sweaty it, but nobody came inside. But we end up winning a penalty anyways. Icardi nearly blew it, but the main thing is we didn't blow it. And Sigurdsson has a shot from the penalty spot, and we end up scoring 1-0 it is after 65 minutes. We've left it a little bit later than what I've liked. I do like to get off to a flying start, get that early goal, just relieve a lot of the pressure. But yeah, we finally got that goal. That's all that matters in the end. And Dragovic had a header that was saved pretty comfortably. It was right at him. But you can see right here, a lot of space here. Zuccolini, what can he do? Zuccolini makes it 2-0. He's been in great form lately. A few little hiccups here and there for Zuccolini, but for the most part, been phenomenal lately. And who knows, we do have an option to keep him permanently. He's on loan from Manchester City, so I would love to keep him on a permanent basis. So just have to wait and see what sort of contracts they want, because we will be leaving space for him and Correa to try and bring him in on a permanent transfer. But Ayoze has a lot of space. He brought him in off the bench, I believe, for Correa. It was Icardi who played the pass for him, so that's my logic as to why we probably brought off Correa. Just wanted to give him a bit of a break. And although these guys don't play every single game, we do rotate the squad a lot. We do want to try and give him a bit of a break. And now the keeper was up from the corner, and this looks to be an incredible goal before it ends up hitting the post there. And then whoever it was, I think it was one of our players, probably Ayoze or Icardi, came flying down at last minute. The Aston Villa, wow, I don't know why I said that. The Crystal Palace defender slides in and sort of gets the ball away. So we nearly could have made it 3-0. That would have been a phenomenal goal. I don't even know who took the shot, to be honest with you. Was it Sigurdsson maybe? I don't really know, but whatever it was, we didn't do the shot button. Obviously, we did the lob ball, the cross pass. So yeah, that would have been a great goal, but it wasn't. And you see Ivan Lopez here, our right back, actually been progressing quite well. He's really sorted out the right back position. It was a huge problem for us last season until the January transfer, both the fullback positions. The left back less so, because we had a fair bit of cover there, but the right back position, Kyle Norton was our first choice right back. And no disrespect to Kyle Norton, but he just isn't very good in this game. And we've got Diekmeyer there as well as a backup who's playing this game. He's very, very good. He's very fast, and he's very, very tall as well. So I kind of feel like if we needed to, we could throw him in at centre-back as well, which makes him a good option on the bench in games. But, I mean, whether he comes on and plays centre-back's a whole different story. But Ayoze has the ball. He gets it to Carlos Eduardo, and that's a great save by the Ghent keeper. And I should mention, this is Europa League, and Ghent, I think, are the other top side in our group as well. So, I mean, I was saying earlier, I think that was the last episode, I don't really care about Europa League in terms of us coming first, but I mean, it would be nice if we get the opportunity. We definitely want to, come first in our group. Everyone wants to come first, but I mean, it's not the end of the world. Premier League is our main focus, especially with how well we're doing. Being top of the table. We're not heaps early on in the season. I mean, we're a fair way into the season. January hasn't happened yet, but we're pretty darn close as well. But Carlos Eduardo takes a fake shot. We really shouldn't have done that fake shot. I think we should have taken a shot. It was on his left foot, which I think is his weak foot. I'm not really sure exactly how good he is on his weak foot, but we should have just taken a chance of taking a shot, in my opinion. Instead, we sort of fiddle around with it too long, and it gives Ghent an opportunity. They're just passing it around, being a bit more patient. A lot of sides try to counter-attack against us, and Ghent, they were doing that a little bit, but pretty much they were just patient with it as well. But that was a fantastic save by Rob Green. He doesn't play all the time, but when Rob Green is given the opportunity, you saw early in the season when Valdez was hurt, Rob Green is a great keeper. I think he's up to 78 rating or whatever. And Gabriel here has a shot, and it is saved. It was actually a really, really nice play from us. Basically, we're just waiting for the players to make a run. That's what I love. I love this formation. It is quite central. There isn't very much width, I would say, but at the same time, the fullbacks, we've got pretty good fullbacks. They create a little bit of width to get the crosses in, but we don't really have target men or anything. But you see right here, I think it was Lopez lost the ball, didn't track back or whatever. I think actually he might have did the slide tackle, which went completely wrong, and it leaves this Rahman guy to take a shot, which ended up winning them the game. So it was quite disappointing to lose the Ghent, which I think results in them jumping in the first spot in the Europa League table. Could be wrong with that, but as you can see, possession wise, we actually got absolutely dominated, really. It looks like we were the ones on their counter-attack, and that is to be expected with this formation. We actually are playing the wingers. I was talking about in general for our main formation in terms of we just flood the midfield, really, and just have players constantly in motion. And to a degree, this formation works the same sort of thing in terms of having a lot of attacking players making runs. And the only problem is with this formation is you can see we have a lot of backup wingers and don't actually play any wingers. So when it comes to these sort of Europa League games, we're playing all wingers in the the cam spots and that sort of stuff. So moving on to the last game of the episode, we are taking on West Brom, and West Brom are a side which I think we should be able to beat pretty comfortably, although they do have a few good players here and there, like Rondon and all that sort of stuff. But I think he might be, I don't know if he's starting. I think he is. He probably is. But the first chance does fall to Sigurdsson from a free kick, and we do put it way wide, which is a little bit disappointing. Because like I said in the previous episode, Ayoze scored a free kick, and I was talking about Sigurdsson had been the only other one who'd scored a free kick. And Sigurdsson's actually got really good stats for a free kick taker, but as you can see here, we were made to punish for not taking our chances early on, and after like 9 minutes or so, James McLean ends up scoring a goal. It was actually really, really frustrating, that goal, just due to the fact that it felt like I couldn't do anything to stop it, really. The ball just kept popping up, and you can saw it was just like a perfect sort of chance for them. But it is 16 minutes in. John Shelby gets it to Rafinha, who is brought down. Actually, not just brought down by Jordy Ends, but actually like full on taken out. And this is what I was talking about briefly, or not briefly, like last episode. Teams starting to rough us up a little bit, starting to try and take us out, and I mean, all power to them if it works, but it hasn't really worked too well thus far. But I mean, West Brom find themselves in front. Rafinha takes a shot, and Rafinha scores, and it is 1-1 after 21 minutes there, and that is a great shot by Rafinha. And we really got to figure out what we want to do in January, because his loan expires in January, I believe. So I mean, fingers crossed we can get him back, because he's been an absolute star for us, but he might be just a little bit too big for our club. And I mean, being at Barcelona, I'm sure he would love to go back to Barcelona and probably figure into their first team plans, you would think. But Correa ends up scoring there. Another one on loan. This time we got an actual, a deal deal with Atletico Madrid to sign him on a permanent basis if we would like, but yeah, maybe they will try and do their best to keep him as well. Here's a third Delaney that we've got, Zuccolini. He's actually been phenomenal for us as of late, but this is absolutely horrendous. What a shit tackle this was. As you can see, he just goes straight from behind him, takes out his legs as well. He gets none of the ball, and as a result, there is your red card now. That does mean that we sort of need to change formation a little bit, and I didn't know what the formation would be that we should go to. And I think really any formation that we use probably won't fare too well, and there nearly is an instant result for West Brom. The man down gave him a little bit extra space. They took a shot and it cannoned off the crossbar, but the ball falls back to this player, and it was a great block there by Dragovic there, and we end up taking it to half-time 2-1 ahead. So we were quite fortunate to be up 2-1 at half-time, but at the same time, we've defended quite well. You can see there we've got some late blocks in and that sort of stuff, and West Brom were piling on the pressure. They weren't quite attacking, and we pretty much just went, okay, let's go defensive, let's just try and hold this lead, because chances are we probably aren't going to score. But I mean, on the off chance you get chances like this, Icardi, come on man, you got to get that header. I think that was a perfect opportunity. The block initially led to the keeper being out of position for the second shot, and yeah, we really should have finished that one 3-1 up. I think that would have secured a victory, and you know, and away game with 10 men, you know, you got to take your chances. And Icardi again doing some phenomenal work up until the finish. Now he's usually a pretty good finisher, but yeah, just that point or just that chance couldn't really convert it. I'm not going to blame him for that one because it was way harder, and he did create the chance himself. He didn't really butcher it, but right here, Martley or whatever his name is, he ends up scoring the equaliser there, and it is 2-2 with 20 minutes to go. That's his third goal in the Premier League, so he's not, you know, not a huge goal scorer, but that was just enough to sort of give West Brom, you know, the confidence, like we can do this, we can get that last goal, which didn't fare well for us. You can see Lopez just getting out-muscled by Gamboa here, and they do find Sessegnon making a great run, and that is a great goal there by West Brom. They do hit us on the counter a little bit, which is a little bit weird considering we're playing defensive, but yeah, basically they just hit us on the counter, and that was a great little run there by Sessegnon, and a great ball by Gamboa, whoever it was who had the ball initially, and found the pass. Now as a result of us being down, we needed to change things up, and what we did change was the formation, which resulted in absolutely nothing happening. No more chances except for the ball falling to Solomon Rondon off the goal kick. Now, I was actually very annoyed because I wasn't aiming for that player. I was aiming for my other centre-back, but instead I went for, I think it was the left-back, which was a little bit weird to me, but you know, it is what it is, and I think in the end we're going to lose anyway. As you can see, they had more shots on target. They deserved to win, and funnily enough, we had 10 men for like over half of the game, and we still had more possession. Now I know possession doesn't mean everything, obviously, as to, you know, to why we lost that game, but I just thought it was interesting. Now you see here Zuccolini picks up a one-match ban as to be expected. An instant red card results in that, and yeah, that's where this video is going to end. We still do remain in first spot, which is nice. We did have a game in hand, that's why we're still in first spot, but would have been nice to just extend that lead, get a little bit of breathing room. But yeah, we truly are the Leicester of this season. Swansea City going very, very well, and that's where the video is going to end. Hopefully you did enjoy it. If you did, please leave a like, subscribe to my channel, follow me on Twitter at Mr. Luke MYT, place the page in the description below, and I'll see you for my next video. Bye guys.